All right, shalom, shalom. How art thou? Shalom, everybody out there in these social media worlds. This is Eliyahu Gabor Yisrael coming to you with another quick hitter. Another quick hitter. Again, like I put one out the other day, talking about this veganism doctrine. I wasn't really on the doctrine itself so hard. I put out talking about Paul, how he quoted from the Old Testament, what he meant in Colossians 2, 16, 17, how he grabbed it from the Old Testament. Well, today we're going to talk about Peter. We're going to talk about Peter, the rock. This doctrine on that, since I'm going with Peter, since he walked with the Messiah. He walked with him. He talked with him. He ate with him. He dined with him. So we're going to go with Peter and see, what did Peter do while he was with the Messiah? How the Messiah thought of Peter, and after the death, burial, and resurrection of the Messiah, of Christ, how did the Messiah act towards Peter also? Well, we're going to start in Matthew. We're going to start in Matthew 6. Matter of fact, let me get there. We're going to start in Matthew 16. And most of this, y'all already know. It's not going to be a whole lot of reading. It'll be a little reading. Not going to be a lot. Because you should know the story of the scriptures already. And you're going to get an understanding. I'm going to be leading up to something and see, to show y'all what's going on with it. It's going to lead up to something. You'll get it. Hopefully we will get it. Hopefully we'll get some understanding out of this. And just by putting scriptures together, we will see what was going on at that time with the disciples, like I say, walking with Christ. Especially Peter. We're focusing on Peter today. This is who we're focusing on. We're going to go to the book of Matthew. We're going to go Matthew 16, and we're going to start at 18. Well, actually, we're going to start at... let's go to like 13. Matthew 16 and 13. It says, when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, Some say thou art John the Baptist, some say thou art Elias, or Elijah, or some say thou art Jeremias, or one of the prophets. He said unto him, Whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living power, the Son of the living God. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee, that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loose in heaven. I read that showing how the Messiah thought of Peter. How the Messiah thought of Peter while he walked with him. What he thought about Peter while he walked with him. We know the whole story when Peter denied the Messiah 3 times. I say 3 times. When at the time of his crucifixion, he denied him. We understand that. Peter also redeemed himself 3 times. We'll read that today also. I'm going to try to make this quick, if I can. If not, please bear with me. We read that in Matthew. So we see how the Messiah talked to Peter, what he thought of Peter, how he gave him the keys of the kingdom. How this is what he gave to him. So Peter should know who he is. Peter should know what he done, what he ate, everything. They was together at all times. This is how much. So I'm bringing this forth because there's a doctrine out there saying that the Messiah and the disciples did not eat meat, nor did they kill any animals. They got this out here like that. One of these PETA videos. They're showing PETA videos showing no cruelty to animals. Animals out there crying. We shouldn't be eating them. They showing all this, and they're saying this is the way the Messiah and his disciples act. We're gonna see if this is true. Again, let's go to John. Let's go to the book of John. And now it talks about Peter. Now this is gonna be after the Messiah resurrected. Let's see what we have here. We're going to John 21. We're going to some of the last, going to the last chapter in John. John 21, we're going to verse 7. John 21:7 says, therefore, the disciple whom Jesus loved said unto Peter, it is the Lord. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisherman's coat unto him, for he was naked, and cast himself into the sea. So they were out there fishing. You know, getting out there fishing, you only have a limited amount of clothes that you wear. So I'm not gonna say I don't believe that he was completely naked. He probably had, swimming trunks on. Let's call it that. Out there fishing, they pulling their fishing net. They didn't fish. They not talking about fishing with rod and reel and stuff like that. They had nets where they pull their nets. We're gonna read it. So you will get soaking wet out there at that time. So, he girded himself. Anyway, coming to the Messiah, you see the glory of him coming. It says, and just like it says about the Most High, no flesh should glory in his presence. Also, let's get this. What was verse 8? And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from land. But as it was 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon as then as they were come to the land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Okay, so what they're gonna tell? What does they're eating fish? Fish are animals. Fish is considered flesh or meat. They're out there catching fish. If this was true, this book would have told us the Messiah would have told them stop catching the fish, stop eating the fish, stop catching the fish. Let's see what he told them. Let's see what did he tell them. Verse 10. And then Yahushua said unto them, bring of the fish which ye have now caught. So he's telling them to bring the fish that they caught to eat. But let's see what happened. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to the land full of great fishes, and 153 fish, for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. Jesus said unto them, come and dine. That sounds like they're finna eat some animals. That sounds like they're finna eat some created creatures by the Most High. Fish being pulled up out the water. Come on now. Come on now. Where we at? Come and dine. This is verse 12. Come and dine. And none of the disciples thus asked, who art thou? Knowing it was the Lord. Jesus then coming and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. And fish likewise. This is now the third time that Yahushua has shown himself to his disciples after that he was risen from the dead. So after he was risen from the dead, he gave the disciples fish to eat and bread. They're telling you that they didn't eat, they ate grapes. They're on the sea and they ate grapes. They're on the water, in the water naked, and they're eating grapes. They got a fire, they're cooking grapes on the fire. Come on, man. Come on. No, they were eating fish. They were eating fish. This is Peter we're dealing with today. We see how the Messiah interacted with Peter. And they ate fish. Let's jump down to verse 15. So when they had dined, Jesus said unto Simon Peter, son of Jonah, lovest thou me more than these? So he see how he's interacting with him. That's one time. Then Peter told him, he said unto him, yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto unto him, he said unto him, feed my lambs. If y'all go on to YouTube, Houston Brews channel, Abdullah Makkah Yasharallah got a beautiful lesson about feed my lamb, feed my sheep. Houston Brews on YouTube. Check it out. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonah, lovest thou me? He said unto him, yea, Lord, thou knowest I love thee. He said unto him, feed my sheep. He said unto me a third time, Simon, son of Jonah, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him a third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, feed my sheep. Y'all can continue on reading a little bit more. This is the last chapter in this book, and it gets pretty powerful. It gets pretty strong once you get some understanding of it, because you see one of the disciples went to Christ. Hey, you know Peter betrayed you. He said, what? And what it is, I just questioned him just then. He said he loved me. What it is with you? If he's still living here on earth, by the time I get back again, what is it to you? That's something we need to check our spirit for. Anyway, no, I don't want to get off the subject. Let's go to Acts. I'm leading up to something. I'm trying to make this only probably about 20 minutes. I'm hoping I can catch that 20 minutes mark. Let's go to Acts 3. Let's see what he told Peter. It's going to lead up to something. Y'all bear with me. Acts 3 and 1. It's a lot of reading. And this one I don't want to read that much. I'm going to try to break it a little bit. But anyway, this is about Peter again. It says, now when Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour, a certain man was lame from his mother's womb, who was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple. Who, seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked alms. And Peter fastened his eyes upon him with John and said, look on us. And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something of them. Then Peter said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. So whatever I have, I'm going to give it to you. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach of Nazareth, rise up and walk. And he took him by the right hand and lifted him up, and immediately his feet and ankle bones received strength. Now this is Peter, who has the power of healing. He just ate fish with the Messiah. Power of healing. He have all this power. Surely, if he was told not to eat these things, he would know. He got this type of power. This is what he has. Surely, if he was told not to kill an animal, if somebody was told not to kill an animal, if somebody knew not to eat of these animals, or just to kill these animals, it would be Peter. No, look at the power that Peter possesses. Look at the power that the Messiah, that Peter received from the Holy Spirit. Look at the power that he has. We're going to see. We're going to see. Just bear with me. You can get some understanding on it. Let's jump down to, we're done reading that. Y'all get the gist of it. Just read it some more. That was Acts 3. I started at verse 1. Read the whole chapter. Let's go to Acts 5 and 15. Let's see what else what else they said about Peter. This is strength. Okay. We're going to start Acts chapter 5. Verse. Let's do 15. No, let's do 14. And believers were the more added to the Lord, multitudes both of men and women, insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets, and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passes might overshadow them. So people, where there came also a multitude out of the cities round about Jerusalem, bringing sick folks and them which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed every one. So people believed that Peter's shadow had the power to heal them. Now, surely, Peter would know if the Messiah said, do not kill animals. Peter wouldn't deal with people that killed animals. Peter wouldn't eat those type of animals. We just showed he ate fish. Now what we're going to go to, since we're running kind of short on time, we're going to go to Acts 10. A lot of people like to read Acts 10 to prove a point. Oh, okay, well, he gave permission to, this is Christian mentality, he gave permission to eat these type of things. But if you just jump down to verse 28 in Acts 10, he wasn't talking about eating this flesh. And you jump over to chapter 11, Peter explained his vision even more. But I'm not even going to go there. What I'm going to is Acts. Matter of fact, we'll start at Acts 9. Last verse in Acts 9. That's verse 43. And it came to pass that he tarried many days in Joppa with one Simon, a tanner. Now Peter is staying with somebody named Simon, which is a tanner. A tanner. Now, this doctrine right now is saying that the disciples didn't eat meat. They didn't kill animals. They didn't, they were so much of seeing an animal slaughtered, because these guys are showing you pedo videos of animals crying the way they're being slaughtered and all. He wouldn't deal with those type of things. Remember, where Peter was staying. And if you look through here, if you go to Acts 10, keep reading, you'll see that's what Peter was saying. He gave a vision. An angel came to who was Cornelius and told him to go see Peter. Told him again where Peter was staying. Peter was staying with a man named Simon, which is a tanner. Now the word tanner, Tanner, is bursa. Bursa, a fluid-filled sac or cavity. So that's a sac or cavity. That means it can be on the body. It can be anywhere, as long as it's a sac or cavity that is filled with fluid. This is the word. That's where tanner is coming from. That's where it's derived from. I believe that's like an old Nordic or Latin word or something like that. That's what it means. A fluid-filled sac or cavity. And the Greek is bupoa or bupar. Something like that, Bupoa. I'm not good with the Greek. And it means wineskin. What do you all think a tanner was? A tanner is a leather worker. Most wineskins was made out of animal hides. So Peter is staying with a man that deals with leather, a leather worker that deals with animal hides. And to get hide from an animal, you will have to kill it. Because the Hebrews knew that even if it died of itself, you couldn't touch it anyway. You could give it to a stranger or a Gentile or a heathen, but you're not supposed to touch it. But Peter was staying at the house of a man that dealt with animal hide on a daily basis. So he made everything from purses to wallets, wineskin, all of that. He was a leather worker. Simon the Tanner. That's who he lived with. So do you think that if the Messiah told them, do not kill any animals, do not deal with these type of animals, do not deal with these type of things, that he would actually be staying with this man that kills animals and work their skin or the leather off them to make money off of? Really? Really? If it was just about eating flesh, but y'all are going against the scriptures, and it's easily explained here. These books that you all are reading, you better be careful. Be careful with them. Most High in Christ bless y'all for the day, for the tomorrow, and forever. Shalom.